Hey, Thomas. Hey, Don. Tell me something, Don. Do you, by any chance, know how to handle getting rid of unwanted comments and, if necessary, how to ban somebody? I think that might be necessary in this video. And is Tom home, or are you doing this from the hospital? Please tell me Tom is home today. Hey, Lily, Shane, how y'all doing? Still in the hospital. They're going to send him home tomorrow, or are they not sure now? You doing all right, Shane? Lily? I think I said hello. Welcome. Hey, Georgia Outdoors. Robertson's Belly Acres. Some new folks in here. Thomas hopefully going tomorrow, but not sure yet. Well, I hope he gets home. I know he's anxious to. Hey, JR. YouTube not likes to mess with everybody. Let's give the regulars just a few more minutes to come on in. Yeah, those frogs are noisy. Oh, me. You should have been around, or I should have been starting this stream an hour ago. Couldn't hear yourself think for all the roosters crowing. About 5 or 6 of them just going nuts, and I don't even own a chicken. They're my neighbor's chickens that come over here. JR, you save folders? You say a whole folder. You save folders on YouTube? Oh, hey Jacob. I didn't know what your name was on here. JR, I can't send these roosters to freezer camp. I would if they were mine. But I can't because they are a neighbor's roosters. He's got 15 chickens and half of them are roosters. He doesn't have chickens for meat and he doesn't have chickens for eggs. He's got chickens because he likes the looks of chickens. And roosters are prettier than hens. And he has some, shall we say, interesting birds. Some really colorful birds. George Outdoors is Jacob, my grandson. And he'll tell you that they're pretty chickens, but God, they're noisy. A roasted rooster. That's about right. Oh, saving videos. Okay, I thought you meant you had a folder of... Never mind. I was having a brain fart. Well, it's 2 minutes after. We will give everybody 3 more minutes for the regulars to come in. And then we'll get started. Because I've got I don't know if I have an important topic today. Or if I have a rant today. I'm not really sure what it is. But I got something to say. Oh, look right there. Look, it is daylight out. You know, it wasn't but about 3 or 4 weeks ago when my 6 o'clock live stream started, it was dark out there. The days are getting longer. I'll be glad when it's light until about 8:30. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. Oh, me. Mary Grace. Yes, they are getting longer. How are you and Jim doing? JR, what email did you send it to? yt.mcf? I think that's the one that's down in the description. All right, one more minute and we'll get started. I think the one listed on my channel page is yt.mcf at W4JIC, Whiskey 4 Juliet India Charlie.com. I think that's the one down there in the description. If it's not, that's what should be in the description, and I need to update the description if that's not the one down there. Oh, Gmail address, the one that YouTube offers you because you have to have a Google account to have a YouTube channel. I have not looked at my Google Mail, my Gmail address. Oh, let's see, it's 2020, probably since 2014, because I've also got an alternate address with Google, and anything they're going to send me that's important goes to the alternate address. So anything that goes to Gmail, I never, ever, ever see. Down in the description, not in my about, not on the about page for the channel, but down in the description of every video, there's an email in there, and it should be yt.mcf, youtube.mountain crest farm, at Whiskey 4 Juliet India Charlie.com, W4JIC.com. That's the email address that's down in the description, or should be. Oh, and they'll probably be in here. JR, the one from the About page, I never look at it. I tried to update it 2 or 3 times. It won't let me. It insists on my using my Gmail address. But I haven't looked at that address, like I say, 2014, something like that. I don't see Two Cedars Microfarm in here yet. They will probably be in, but if they aren't, talk to Dave, and his radiation treatment Thursday, his first radiation treatment, went well and knocked him down a little bit, but he's doing pretty good. Okay, 7 minutes after, so let's get this show on the road. Everybody in here are not regulars, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of the house cleaning type stuff, and hopefully Dawn, because Thomas Schmidt Homestead Projects, Thomas is not actually the one doing this. It's his better half, if you can hear me, Tom. It's his better half doing it. And I'm not sure if she knows how to do links and stuff like that. But if you do, Dawn, if you'll stick the links up that I mentioned, I'd appreciate it. First things first, my favorite charity. Anybody that's got some extra money they want to throw toward a charity, a good charity, my favorite charity, it's actually in the description down there. I think it's about the first thing in the description after the see more or show more, is the American Cancer Society's Atlanta Hope Lodge. It's a wonderful place for people who live more than 60 miles from where they're being treated for cancer in Atlanta and need a place to stay and can't afford $150 a night for Atlanta hotel rates. It's a free place for people who are getting cancer treatment to stay while they're getting their treatment in Atlanta. Fantastic charity. It's one of the few charities that I would give money to, and there's a link to them down there in the bottom. Number two, I have a book out. Been out for about 4 years now. 5 years? 4 years? 4 years, I think. For people who are just beginning to be pig farmers or thinking about being pig farmers. The name of the book, and it's a Kindle-only book. You have to, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can read it for free because they have a lending library. Otherwise, I think it's either $7.99 or $8.99. Yesterday, I couldn't spell pig farmer, and today I are one. I think it's a little bit humorous and real informational. Should be a good book if you're wanting to start raising pigs. That's about as much house cleaning as needs to be done. I want to get right straight to the point on this video. Yeah. Hey, Lynn, you're driving from and to. Let me get straight to the point on the video today, because sometimes I just ramble around. I really don't have a topic, and we just talk. I do have a topic today, and the topic comes up because of an incident that happened this past week. The regulars in here know that I'm having health issues. The regulars in here know that I was having to get rid of my pigs because my health issues were such that I wasn't going to be able to take care of them like I should, and that they were for sale. I sold them. I had a guy that wanted to buy them, and we made a deal. Not in writing. He's probably close to 100 miles from me, maybe even a little bit more. But kind of funny thing about us Southerners is, and people in the farming, homesteading community, when you make a deal, you make a deal whether it's in writing or not. You don't have to see somebody. If it's in person, I've done business on a handshake for years. And that's kind of how we expect people to do around here. You know, your word's good. You say you're going to do something, you do it. And this guy was going to buy my pigs, all but one, that I was going to keep around here as a 600-pound pet, okay? And he was going to buy my boar and my 2 large black sows and my 2 Berkshire sows. We struck a deal for X amount of money for the 5 pigs. He showed up Wednesday to get the pigs, and he didn't want to load them all in the trailer at once. He had a trailer that would divide into 2 sections. And he wanted to put Roscoe, the boar, in one section, and the 2 large black sows in the other section. And he didn't want to load the Berkshires in with the sows, because that would have been enough. It was a 16-foot trailer, and half of it he felt wasn't enough room for the 2 large black sows and the Berkshire sows. So he was going to come back and get the Berkshire sows. Well, he paid me 2/3 of the $1,500. Now understand, remember what I said. The $1,500 was for the 5 pigs and registration on the 3 large blacks. That was the deal. It wasn't so much for the large blacks registered and so much for the Berkshires. It was a package deal. 5 pigs, registration papers, X amount of dollars. He paid me 2/3 of the X amount of dollars and drove off for the 3 large blacks. And then told me the next day, or I don't remember if he told me Thursday or Friday, he didn't think he was going to take the Berkshires. And would I please register the large blacks in his name? And I'll tell you what, he and I had a deal. He didn't keep his end. I got most of my money, but I didn't get all of my money. He didn't keep his end of the deal. So I kept most of my end of the deal. He's got 3 purebred large blacks, and I knocked off part of my end of the deal. He doesn't have registration papers on those large blacks, and he's not going to have registration papers on those large blacks. It will be a cold day in hell when he does get registration papers. So he doesn't have large blacks. He has 3 pigs that are large. They're black, and they have floppy ears. And that's all he's got. And that's all he's going to have. I don't do well with people that say they'll do something and then don't do it. The whole problem, y'all saw the title on this live stream. The entire problem rested with somebody who thinks he wants to be a farmer, thinks he wants to be a homesteader. I think he's got a horse or 2 and a couple of chickens. And his neighbor has been a customer of mine in the past. Matter of fact, his neighbor's boar is the son of produced on this farm. And his neighbor told him about me because his neighbor had done business with me. And his neighbor was the first person I called about those 3 large blacks, or all 5 of them, because I knew his neighbor would take good care of the pigs, would treat them right, all that sort of thing. And you got to understand, Roscoe, the boar, he was my favorite pig. He was as much a pet as he was a working boar. And I knew that his neighbor would take care of him, so I'd made him the offer, and he didn't have a need or room for the pigs. So the neighbor, who thinks he wants to be a farmer, he told him about it and told him the price that I wanted for the large blacks. That price was good for the guy who I had done business with, period. I made him a special deal. And he told him about it, and that was not the deal I struck with the guy that wound up with the pigs. I struck a different deal with him, and he didn't hold up his end. And why didn't he hold up his end? Well, I'll tell you. Something people need to understand if they're going to farm. It's kind of like what they say about going into battle in the military. You can plan all you want to right up until the battle begins, and then the plans go out the window. Well, a lot of farming's the same way. You can plan all you want to. I had told him that, yeah, you could get your stock trailer, 16-foot gooseneck stock trailer. You could probably get it up on the hill to where you have to pick up the pigs. And that went in the toilet. Couldn't get a gooseneck up there. My 16-foot bumper pull I've had up there multiple times. And that's what I had told him. Based on that, you could probably get a 16-foot gooseneck up there. Well, he couldn't, and he didn't want me to try. I could have put it up there, but he didn't want me trying. We wound up putting my trailer up there, loading the 3 that he took onto it, pulling it down off the hill, backing it up to his trailer, transferring the pigs. Nothing to it. But the original plan of putting his trailer up there didn't work, and he just, right then, he was done. He couldn't stand the pressure. He couldn't stand all this drama. Hey, man, there's no drama. This is farming. This is farming. Usually things go well. Sometimes they don't go so well. You go to plan B. No big deal. But to him, it was a big deal. I think he's one of those people who saw a television show about homesteading. Or maybe he saw pictures of nice, cute little homesteads in some magazine. I don't know. Countryside and Small Stock Journal comes to mind on homesteading magazines, and they've got some cute little things in there and tell stories. And those are usually success stories. See, y'all notice on my channel, I tell you the good and the bad. When things go in the toilet, I tell you they're in the toilet. I tell you when I screwed up, and what I'm going to do to fix it the next time. But the TV shows and the magazines, they don't show that. And you get people that have always been townies or live in the city, and they move out and they want that thing they saw on the TV show. They think they want to be farmers or homesteaders, when what they need to do is go back to town and go back in the city and get their little job in a cubicle where they work 9 to 5, everything goes like it's supposed to, and if it doesn't go like it's supposed to, their boss fixes it, and they move on, and they get their check at the end of the week. Some people want to leave that, and they truly want to leave that, and they're successful at it. And some people just think they want to leave that, and they want to leave it as long as things go smooth. And when things don't go smooth, they're just, I don't know what to do. They don't stop and think about the effect that has on other people. I didn't want to get rid of the pigs to start with, okay? But I have to. And when he decided he wasn't going to get the Berkshires, it put me in a bind. Because my first procedure that I've got to have done is Wednesday. Those pigs needed to be gone. I didn't need them here to have to deal with. If I could deal with the pigs, I wouldn't be getting rid of them to start with. And he left me in a bind. I don't care about the money that he didn't pay me. I care about the fact that, number one, he left me in a bind. I thought I had those pigs arranged for. And number two, he was not as good as his word. He told me he would buy the 5 pigs for X dollars. He took 3 pigs, paid me 2/3, gone, never to be seen again. You don't do that when you're farming. You don't do that as homesteaders. You shouldn't ever do it at all. And I started not to tell you this. It's something I told him. First of all, I told him that he needed to go back and get a job in a cubicle. And the second thing, and Mary Grace and Jim and Dawn and Thomas and anybody else watching this that's from up north, please don't take offense, because I don't mean it about everybody, and I certainly don't mean it about y'all. I consider y'all as to be friends, but it's a generalization, and yes, I was taking a shot at him. I told him that he epitomized everything that Southerners hate about Yankees. When I tell you I'm going to do something, I do it. If it hurts me, if it costs me money, if it's something I realize I really don't want to do, well, tough. I told you I would do it, and I do it. And I expect you to treat me the same way. I expected him to treat me the same way. And it all comes back to the title of this video. Be sure you want to be a farmer before you become a farmer. Because when you become a farmer and you don't want to do it, you're not hurting yourself. You're hurting everybody you deal with. And some people, it's not a big deal. In this case, it is. He put me in a really bad spot. Now, turns out that I worked the way out of it. I always have a plan B. Fell up about 100 miles up the road from me. I had 3 feeder pigs that weren't going with the first guy. And I had Pork Chop, my sow, who is the oldest pig on the property. Came here when she was 2 months old, and that was her sister, and half-sister that was a purebred large black, the first 3 pigs I had 5 years ago. Matter of fact, 5 years ago next month, as a matter of fact, I think. Those are the first 3 pigs I had. Got Roscoe about 8 months later when they were big enough to start breeding, and he was old enough to start breeding, and I needed a boar. But she was the oldest pig on this property. And he had already said he would take her and babysit her. And the 3 feeders he had bought from me, well, given what the guy did on the Berkshires, I said, hey, you want to babysit 3 pigs instead of 1? And he said yes. There's a video coming out, probably be out tomorrow, might be Tuesday. That'll sort of explain it all. But he bailed me out. Never having met him before, he bailed me out. But the other guy, his word's no good. He's a liar. He knows who he is, and he may be watching this, and I don't care if he is. But people like that need to stay out of homesteading and stay out of farming because they're not going to succeed. Number one, they're not going to succeed because they can't stand change. They can't stand that they get there expecting something and it changes. You know, the old military, you make plans right up until the battle starts and then the plans go out the window, and that's kind of like farming. Well, they can't stand when things don't go exactly as they anticipated, number one. And number two, you get in this community, I don't care if it's north or south, you get in the homesteading farming community and people find out that your word's no good, they'll never do business with you again. And that guy's going to fail because of that. Down there where he is, he's 120 miles from me. He's pretty close to Shane, but he's a long way from me. He's not going to fail immediately, but he's going to fail because that's how he does business. His word is worthless. So that's the topic of this video. Don't decide you want to farm. Don't decide you want to be a homesteader unless you know you want to be a homesteader. And you can't know that by watching cute TV shows and reading pretty magazine articles. Do I sound pissed? I am. Is this a cruddy video? Yeah. I don't like my videos to be rants. I like my videos to be happy, smiley videos. And this one isn't. But this one is something that hopefully, on down the road, people wandering around YouTube that are thinking about farming, that are thinking about homesteading, will stumble across this one and say, maybe I better rethink what I'm saying I want to do. Well, that's about what I wanted to say. So now I'm going to look at the comments over here, or the chat, and try to catch up on it. Don't go anywhere. We're not ending this yet. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat. Oh my, would you look at this? Bunch of chat. Oh crud, I just closed out my chat. There we go. There we go. Let's see. I thought I had pop out. Yeah, JR, there's good folks everywhere. There's good Yankees. Mary Grace and Jim's a good example. Thomas and Don's good examples. I was born in Ohio, for God's sake. I got out real quick. I was 16 months old when we left Ohio. My old man was in the Air Force. It was just a shot. I was angry. I was angry and I took a shot at him. That's what it was. That's why Southerners hate Yankees. I know that's not true, but I was mad. I mean, I was really mad. And Shane, I'm going to tell you, before you buy any pigs from anybody down close to you, I'm not sure exactly where he is because I don't remember where his neighbor, who was my client, is, but draw a triangle from Macon to Columbus to Atlanta. He's inside that triangle, and before you buy any pigs from anybody down there that you haven't done business with yet, contact me and I'll let you know if that's who it is. Because I know you're going to have some pigs this spring. I don't want you having to do business with him. Number one, I don't want you having to do business with him. And number two, I don't want him getting your business. No, he shouldn't, Lily, but I really shouldn't have gotten angry. I think the reason it angered me so much is the bind it put me in. My first procedure of 2, possibly 3, is Wednesday. I had to have the pigs gone, and he put me in a bad spot. If it hadn't been that, I'd have been irritated. I'd have been a little bit pissed, but I wouldn't have been mad enough to make the Yankee Southerner comment anyway. Yeah, Mary Grace, I've got a very small rental property. It's actually on my property. What it is a 30-foot travel trailer. It's back in 2008, my house burned, and spring of 2009, when I went to rebuild, I needed a place to live while I was rebuilding putting up my yurt, and it's a 30-foot travel trailer I bought and lived in for 6 months while I was building the place, and now I rent it out. And even when you got a renter that close, 75 feet away, you still can't keep a close enough eye on them. I'm glad I've got that rental property. The money helps the budget, but I'd hate to have a rental property across town or across the state. I'd hate to have to try to keep up with that, and I'm glad I've only got one rental property. If somebody offered me 10 free trailers to put all over my property, I'd turn them down. Oh, by the way, I got this, and I think it shows up backwards on YouTube. I'm not sure. It might show up straight. Let's see. No, it shows up straight on YouTube. There it goes. That's not the kind of pig I got. Mine really are black. I don't know what kind of pig that is. That was a Christmas present. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, since I raised pigs. You can't find a coffee mug with black pigs on it. Even though I don't own any pigs anymore, I am going to get some, what do they call it, merch that you can sell about your channel. You know, coffee mugs with your channel name, and stickers with your channel name, and T-shirts with your channel name and all. I've been thinking about doing that. Not for the money. I'd think it was pretty cool if I had people all over the country wearing T-shirts that said Mountain Crest Farm. Hey, Josh, when did you come in? Did you just come in, or have you been here and I didn't notice? Because while I was doing my rant, and if you just came in, yes, it was a rant. You'll want to go back and see it. But if you came in during my rant, I didn't see you come in because I was kind of focused here. I wasn't looking over here. I was focused right there. Oh, me. Thanks, JR. I'm going to change the logo just a little bit. It's still going to have the pig on it. But since I got the Wagyu cattle a few months ago, I'm going to add cattle. And since I'm going to be doing microgreens, I'm going to have some little green sprouty things under them. It's going to be like a pig and a cow and some little green sprouty things in a circle, Mountain Crest Farm. It'll be very similar to what's already there. The new guinea pig baby? Do you have baby guinea pigs? Really, Lynn? Actually, they don't amaze me anymore. Maybe it's from some of my past life, because besides being a drunk, some of my past life involved being a cop. Some of my past life involved being a paramedic, and nothing really surprises me anymore. It disappoints me. That's the best word is people. I keep thinking things are going to change, but every once in a while I get somebody like that guy this last week, and people continue to disappoint me. And besides the disappointing, my wife and I often say, people are really stupid. That's like this on the news. I don't know if y'all saw it. There's a video that's gone viral. I don't know if it's a YouTube video. I don't know if it's on Twitter, Instagram. I don't know. There's a video that's gone viral of a guy who was on an airplane, and the lady that sat in the seat in front of him put her seat all the way back, and he started punching the seat. For the whole flight, he punched the seat. And we were talking about how stupid that was to be punching the seat, and how inconsiderate she was to put her seat all the way back. Well, today we heard there's more. You know, it's like Paul Harvey's The Rest of the Story. Well, number one, the fault there lies with American Airlines, in my opinion. Trying to cram too many people on too small of an airplane and putting the seats too close together. There's the first problem. Greed for American Airlines. Second problem, she shouldn't have put her seat all the way back. That is inconsiderate as can be. Third problem, he shouldn't have been punching the seat, okay? It wasn't her fault the seats were too close together. But today it gets even better. She has filed suit and asked for discovery from American Airlines. She's not suing American Airlines. She is using the courts to force American Airlines to tell her who was in the seat behind her punching the seat so that she can sue him. Here's the good part, people. Remember, I said people are stupid. She is suing him because he gave her whiplash. Yeah. People are stupid. You aren't. Y'all are my friends. I'm not. My wife's not. But generally, my wife and I laugh every day when we see something. People are stupid. Let's see. Picked up a new baby on Saturday. What kind of baby, Josh? You're hiding it from us. Picked up a new baby when you were out in the bush. You didn't pick up a roo, did you? She hadn't said anything, but Kayla, are you in here watching? And Jacob, are you still in here watching? Y'all just sitting back being quiet? Or do y'all leave? Because I'm showing 9 watching and there's about 5 that are actually commenting. Okay, Josh, not a ruse. So what? Tell us. Don't leave us hanging. What did you pick up out in the bush? What's the groan for, Lynn? The fact that he won't tell us what he picked up? Or JR's attempt at humor? You know, yard might be a bit cramped. Well, either he told us and I missed it in the scroll, or Josh isn't going to tell us what he got. I guess we'll just have to watch his videos to find out. And by the way, speaking of watching videos, a regular in here who isn't here today surprises me. A regular who's always in here, June Carden, she has started putting up videos. She's only done one so far, and it's less than a minute long. But June Cardin, JUNECARDIN. That's the name of her channel. And go over there and give her a thumbs up and make good comments and everything. Encourage her to keep going, because I think she's been wanting to do it for a while and was kind of hesitant. And I've encouraged her a little bit to start putting up videos and everything. Y'all go over there and help her out. Now, she's got like 167 subscribers. I don't know where she got that from. I guess people that just liking her Google account. Can you just you have to have something up to put a thumbs up. So maybe she got that many subscribers just off of that one minute video. I don't know. But go over there and show her some YouTube love with thumbs ups, and subscribe to her, because she's here all the time. Today's only the second live stream I can think of that she's missed. And the first one was, I believe it was the Sunday before Christmas. Where she works, they had a company Christmas party. And she actually stuck her nose in real fast, logged on with her phone, said hi, can't stay, I'm at the company Christmas party, and logged off. But she even showed up a little bit then. So go over there and show her some love. Yeah, Shane, June Cardin, CARDIN. Her first video is just about a minute long. It's a video. Her husband's got a cockatiel, and he's laying on the couch. I can't tell if he's snoozing or if he's just being still so not to disturb the bird. And it's her husband's cockatiel sitting on his chest, intrigued by his beard. Or maybe intrigued by his mustache. Did he have a beard, JR? JR's seen her video. Did he have a beard or just a mustache? I know he had a mustache. And speaking of YouTube stuff, not on the live streams yet, but on my regular videos, starting with one that will be released, I'll be uploading it maybe tonight if I can finish editing it and get it up for tomorrow. If not, I'll finish editing it tomorrow and get it up for Tuesday. I think y'all are going to see a dramatic improvement in video quality. My editing skills are still where they were, so they're not great, but they're getting better. But just the video quality, I think you'll see a change. If you do, leave me a comment down below the videos that you watch and tell me, because I want to see if what I did to improve them actually worked. Shortcut stubs. Okay, JR, that just went right over my head. What are you talking about, shortcut stubs? Or is that the description of his beard? Mary Grace, how can you, okay, when somebody just has a Google account, you can actually subscribe to the account when there's nothing there, no content to subscribe to? I didn't even know you could do that. Because when I went there, she had 10 views on that video, but I think it was 167 subscribers. Oh, okay, June's husband's beard. Whoops, I almost messed up. I was about to do that. That guy's just got me still irritated. I mean, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad anymore. But every time I think about pigs, obviously, I think about him. And every time I think about him, it just fries my chops. Mary Grace Jim needs to start. Either y'all need to do None of Grace together with him in it more, or he needs to start a Jim's channel. What little I see of him in the videos, I'm liking it. He needs to be in yours more, or start some of his own. Oh man. So, back to last week's live stream, I still don't know what livestock I'm going to get. JR and to a lesser degree Shane are encouraging me to get quail. That's a possibility. All right, Lynn, nice to see you in here. Keep coming back. Have a great day. Oh, don't forget, the two ways the two things you have to do to have a great day, right? You do remember number one and number two? Since you're not going to be here for the end of the channel, end of the live stream when I remind everybody like they need reminding. Anyway, see you later, Lynn. Have a great day. Yeah, Josh, thinking about quail. I really want to do rabbits. Part of it's because I don't want another learning curve, and I've done rabbits before. Back in the mid-90s, I had 100 does and 10 bucks. I was producing 1,000 a month, and I don't have to learn how to do rabbits. I don't have to learn how to do milk goats either, but there's no way in the world I'm going to be doing any milk goats. Yeah, that does look kind of cool out the window, doesn't it, Shane? I just now noticed that. It looks kind of like a freaky sunset or something, those two white spots, but it's not. What it is the light I've got around my camera reflecting off the window. But it does look kind of cool. Never be another milk goat here. Meat goats are a possibility, but maybe not. I may concentrate on my microgreens and start doing something that I've never done before, but I've wanted to do for about 8 or 10 years, and that's mushrooms. That way I'd have two products that I could sell down at the farmer's market. Thought about doing shiitake and oyster mushrooms. And one reason I'm interested in oyster mushrooms is they have very strong anti-carcinogenic properties. A little bit late for me to be trying to not get cancer, but for folks who do want to have healthy food that fights against all the junk we have in our environment that causes cancer, oyster mushrooms are good. And they're also good for diabetics. So I've been thinking about oyster mushrooms for a long time. And I figure oyster mushrooms and shiitakes, neither one of them's difficult to grow. So I've been thinking about them. But I still want to have some kind of livestock besides chickens that we're going to be getting. After all this time with the pigs, and then back when I had the dairy goats, I feel like I'm pretending if I don't have livestock. And if I'm going to get on everybody else for being pretend homesteaders, then I don't need to be one. And I feel like I'd be a pretend homesteader if all I had for livestock was chickens. Lily, because she knows that if we do rabbits wind up in the freezer. And she would have no problems with me raising rabbits as cute little pets to be sold at Easter. I wouldn't do that because we all know that those rabbits that are bought as Easter pets a week later they're starting to get skinny because the kids that get them don't feed them, and mommy and daddy don't feed them, and all that. And just, I can't see raising them for the pet store market or anything, because I know where those rabbits eventually wind up. I would want to raise them to sell as meat rabbits, and my wife just can't stand the thought of rabbits being slaughtered. When we took the last pig to the abattoir to have it slaughtered, she was just about crying when we left. And our feeder piglets that we raised for feeders, because we raised 1 or 2 a year around here for our freezer, those didn't get names. They didn't become pets like our breeders did. But even at that, she was about to cry with taking a pig to the slaughterhouse. And rabbits, being little cute fuzzy things, they become fur babies to her, and she doesn't want to raise rabbits because of it. Yes, JR, fungus is good. Have thought about worms, all different kind. I've thought about 5 or 6 different kind of worms. I wouldn't want to get more than 2. Find out what's the most popular around here for fishing for trout, and that'll be what I raise, because there's lots of folks around here that love to go trout fishing. Yeah, I've got cats and dogs, Dawn. Pain in the butt. They're like my kids, which explains why they're a pain in the butt. Now, JR, that's not entirely true. When I had goats, it was a goat dairy, which means only the girl goats were of use. And come spring kidding time, when they had their little babies, even the little boys got names. All the little girls got cute names, just like the rest of my herd. And all the little boys got names too. There was barbecue everywhere. Every year there was barbecue number 1, barbecue number 2, barbecue number 3, barbecue number 4. See, it's okay to name your livestock if you name them properly. Just like all of our sows, well, with the exception of pork chop, all of our sows were named after flowers. And all of our little piglets were named after some type of barbecue. We had short ribs, we had, Hamlet for ham, hammy. What else did we have? We've had one called pulled pork, and we've had one called bacon. It's okay to name your animals as long as you name them appropriately for the slaughterhouse, if that's where they're going to wind up. What's naughty, 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 JR? Popped up. Oh, y'all are crazy. We're getting fairly close to the end of this. You know how I know we're getting fairly close to the end of this? Because I'm getting fairly close to the end of this. Now, my regular viewers, tell me who that was for. Yeah, mine's cold too. It wasn't my normal double-walled stainless steel mug. Mary Grace, I don't think there's enough for a number 2. Well, folks, y'all have been putting up with me for almost an hour now. You sat here and listened to my rant, which it was a rant I needed to get off my chest. But it's also, hopefully, people watch this on down the road. Hopefully it'll make some people think about what they're going to do before they start it. Don't just jump into something. You jump into it and it involves livestock. I mean, if you jump into homesteading and all you do is have a market garden and all like that, okay, big deal. Your tomatoes die, nobody's hurt. Except your pocketbook because you didn't take care of them right. But with livestock, when you jump in and start it, and it doesn't go just like you want, so all of a sudden you lose interest in everything, you've hurt. In this case, he's not going to take care of the animals right. It's hurting the animals. They're not going to be registered to him. He's hurting the breed. Because, quite frankly, large black hogs, they're really large black pigs, but it's the Large Black Hog Association. Large black pigs are rare. The Livestock Conservancy has them as critically endangered. I don't think there's but 350 of them registered in the United States. And there's only about 25 people that breed them and register them and do like they should. So he's hurting the breed. He's hurting the people he does business with and doesn't keep his word. All the way around, it's just not a good thing. Get the right attitude before you get to be a farmer. Understand that things don't go right. And that's just farming. And understand that you will not succeed if you're not honest with people and keep your word. That's just farming too. So y'all put up with me for an hour here. Yeah, not quite an hour, but getting pretty close. So let me let y'all go. And over my shoulder, you can't see it, but my TV's on. The sound's just muted because that is copyrighted stuff. And if y'all hear it, they'll on my video. So over here, I think we're about 3/4 of the way through the Daytona 500. Now, I'm not a huge huge NASCAR fan. I quit being a huge NASCAR fan when they quit being stock cars. Remember when it was stock car racing? I love stock car racing. But I quit being a fan back, well, when I was a fan of stock car racing, Cale Yarborough, Richard Petty, David Pearson, those were the drivers. David Pearson was my favorite of all time. Red and white number 21, I think, Mercury. Best finish of all time, I was at Daytona. The best NASCAR finish of all time, I was at Daytona, 72, 73. And it was David Pearson and Richard Petty. They were about 3 laps ahead of the whole field. And they were having a go at it. Y'all need, there's a couple of YouTube videos of that. Some of them are really grainy and cruddy videos, but there are a couple of good ones. And y'all need, if you like racing at all, y'all need to go watch that finish. Best finish in NASCAR history, and I was there. Only Daytona 500 I've ever been to. But I think the last few laps are on the TV over here. I'm going to watch the last of it and see who. You know when I quit being interested in NASCAR? When they started letting Toyotas run. Dang it, NASCAR is Ford, Chevy, and Dodge. That's what's supposed to be running in NASCAR. When they let Toyotas run, nope. But I'm going to call it a night. Thank y'all for coming around, putting up with me again. I really appreciate my viewers. I appreciate that y'all come to my channel and feel like I've got something worth spending some time listening to. And showing. I'll be getting started on that again. It looks like our weather's going to finally break, and start getting where I can get outside and do some stuff. And tomorrow, the next day, will be a video that's not me just sitting here talking, and there's going to be quite a few more. And I'm shooting for a couple a week plus the live streams. I've got a reason for doing it. I have a very specific reason for wanting to crank them out, but I'm not going to go into it on this video. But appreciate y'all coming, especially my regulars, Mary Grace and Shane and JR and Josh, and a couple of them that have left, Lynn, and I don't know where June is. I hope she's okay, because she never misses. I appreciate y'all coming by. So, with that said, here comes a new week. And y'all know just how simple it is to have a fantastic week. First of all, hit the little bell, and I know y'all are all subscribed, so I don't need to even tell you about that. But hit the thumbs up, and if there's somebody lurking out there that's not subscribed, hit that little subscribe button down there, and when you do, right next to it, there's a little bell. Had to do that. Hit that little bell so you'll get notifications. And I'll see y'all in my videos this coming week and on the live stream next week, 6 o'clock. Until then, super simple to have a fantastic week. Super simple. Just remember, the tomb was empty, and he is alive. Thank God he is alive. I'll see y'all later. Okay? Trying to shut it off.